Hello and welcome to another modelling video. This is Alan from the Wookieepedia at YouTube with another model video. Today, building, reviewing, finishing the AMT B-Wing Fighter Special Coating Edition 194 scale 1995, containing 3 runners, 1 clear, a comprehensive instruction sheet, a data sheet with instructions, some advertisement. This was a cannibalized lot purchased from a wholesaler going out of business, a lot of parts off the runners, and an extra runner. I do apologize, this is not a complete unmolested retail unboxing. I had the opportunity to purchase a brand new one, though passed up due to the high cost of around $100. Due to the unusual nature of the kit, I placed all the parts where required on the runner and ticked off every number on the instruction sheet. It is not my first choice to purchase a special coating kit. It's a nuisance, doesn't look good, normally more expensive, but in this case far cheaper. Link below for the tutorial in its removal, though it simply is submerging in bleach for a period of time. Afterwards, the surface came out very glossy and I had concerns for adhesion issues, so buffed everything with high grit sandpaper for a more flat finish for the primer to stick. From this point onwards, I followed the instructions in a linear format and assembled as normal using traditional scale model methods, such as cutting parts off the gate using the 2-cut method, trimming the nubs with a knife, and sanding down. This would be my first AMT kit in about 15+ years. Started a few as a kid, but never really finished them out of fear of painting. Started with the first step around the cockpit, already partially assembled. The clear piece just snap fits quite easily. For its chunky appearance and simplistic raised detail, there's quite a bit of charm, though the engineering in the fit and articulation pretty good for its time. Even though it's a snap kit, I don't trust the joints and applied plastic cement to all the seams. This also second, as I needed the component to be a bonded sealed single part to fill the seam and make it a single spaceship looking component with filler putty and a Q-tip. Care was taken for the articulated joints, which snapped okay, colour separated parts which are glued later on with PVA, and clear parts. Besides a little tedious sanding 24 hours after assembling, nothing was particularly hard. If anything, I had a lot of fun putting this together. Some of the parts, the fit was fantastic, and the general look and appeal gave me a wash of nostalgic comfort where I enjoyed the toys Star Wars, medium and lore as a kid and teenager. I don't have the heart to say anything negative regardless of the flash, raised detail, mold distortions, hollow components, and injector pin mark. All of it I funnily actually enjoy and feel that I'm working on something that I definitely enjoyed in the past. A sense or joy I don't get from a more advanced Snap Bandai kit or static 3D print. That and none of these challenges are particularly hard to overcome. Most of the voids are just filled with putty and other products which are a little more unusual for straight casual scale modelling. The wings snapping on and folding and closing is an absolute treat. A novelty, a fun toy, but a lot of potential to do something with it. The clear cast stand fit together, very brittle and would snap quite easily, still fitted, bit of articulation, and was a nice touch. Could be polished further if needed, but left it as is. Stored all the components in the box ready for painting. This kit is regularly re-released, and also the vintage incarnations found online. Very much highly recommended if you can find it at a fair price. Building is fairly easy, but painting, weathering and finishing can be intimidating, especially for me in my youth. Colour matching can be an issue, but so can being bored with your standard weathered greys and wanting to go a bit further. With confidence, I hit up Google and I looked up various reference material regarding the B-Wing and settled on the Rebles test flight scheme piloted by Hera in the opening of this video. With shading, this is going to be a bit more complicated. I started off with automotive filler lacquer primer with accompanying thinner applied via airbrush and checked for any fillings or imperfection issues. This has a lot of vibrant colors, components and shapes with no markings or decals. I started with a brown and yellow tone, sprayed a small section and taped it up with hobby grade tape and a knife in the pattern that I desired. Each layer has taken multiple days in applying paint, allowing it to cure and harden over multiple days, applying the tape and then spraying the next layer. I strategically figured this out with the smallest markings and lightest colors first, and then built up the tones. Each color is hobby paint or automotive paint heavily thinned down, and I did 3 tones: a medium color, darkened edges and detail, and highlights where appropriate for a smooth light cast gradient shade effect. Also had to arrange the purchase and use of a circle cutter to make round masks. The budget Olaf circle cutter, purchased out of my desire to hoard tools and not knowing when I'm going to need it. Months later arrived in my hands just at the right time to perform this. Very cheap, widely available on eBay and Amazon, including blades. Full demonstration and review link in the description below. Once the masking use got quite heavy, I focused on the edges with nicer products such as U-Star and Tamiya for a good edge, and the bulk of the overcover with a cheaper RC grade of low tack tape. I fear that it would bleed, but it's perfect for this role in between good, more expensive tape that is conservatively used. With light passes and dry coats over flooding the part, removing all the tape led to some very nice edges and finishes. With the base colouring done, some of the articulated points were exercised and touched up, and a little bit of further hand painting required, especially focused on the cockpit in painting the pilot panels, instruments and the Rebel X-Wing spacesuit. The model's also got a lot of raised detail and a bit glossy and awkward in its current colour, so hit it with some sludge wash Tamiya mix with gum terps to build definition and break up all of these shapes and sections. Also dirties it up and gives it that Star Wars lived in look. 24 to 48 hours, allowing it for a full harden and cure. Hit it with a clear matte, little PVA glue and snapped in the clear canopy and wings as a final assembly. This project was an absolute labour of love, from discovering it in a larger lot of kits that I've purchased and tried to put enough parts and bits and pieces together for it to be built. Building a vintage build with layers of gluing, filling and sanding, all the way to the experimental planning of painting and mixing the right colours, exploring source material and achieving a finish that wouldn't have been done back in the day, but more relevant to the current lore and canon of Star Wars. This is a model that I wanted for a very long time and was privileged to get my hands on it now, with all these extra artworks and colours, especially with what was brought to us in Rebels and other spin-off Star Wars TV shows. This video and editing was an enormous amount of work. If you think someone would enjoy this, I would very much appreciate it if it was shared around or recommended. Maybe shoot us a comment of what nostalgic AMT kit you've built and have good fond memories of, or any other brand of Star Wars kits you have built and enjoyed. Failing that, just comment a hello there and promise to give an appropriate General Grievous reply. Very happy how this came out and can definitely recommend any AMT build for this sort of experience. Thank you very much for watching and supporting this channel, definitely during these trying and struggling times. Still having a lot of fun, and this video is definitely no exception. Links in the description section for sources and the 2 tutorials mentioned, and we'll catch you guys next time. Thank you for watching and see you later.